a non-qualified plan. So he's doing a platinum, and he actually just got the approval for life insurance. So he's a disabled vet. So we're like, oh, if you can get approved for life insurance, we'll start with a term, and then if you get approval, we can convert it over into a permanent life insurance. So just got that. That was cool.
That is cool.
And then got all the paperwork filled out for a $90,000 transfer.
Nice.
So they're consolidating 3 products into one. Which is not, or yeah, to a 403B, Elite 5. So that was the win.
Yeah. Lots of wins. I have one win, and then it's like, da, 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 da. And then
awesome.
like doing those, like how did you feel? Like, I mean, from the result of that, I mean, because of you being able to help somebody and all of that.
Oh, it feels awesome.
Yeah.
You know, being able to protect them, protect the family.
Right.
Because the gentleman who won the lotto, his biggest thing was for his son.
Yeah.
To make sure that if anything happened to him, his son had money for college, and that he would be set later on in life.
Yeah,
so,
that is awesome.
What do you mean by unqualified?
Yeah.
What is that?
Non-qualified, so like instead of an IRA or a 403B, they can set up a retirement account, a non-qualified annuity, and there's no limit, so that just comes directly out of their bank account.
So we can do that. Joanne and I were talking about that a couple of weeks. I didn't know that we did. I thought we had to have a tax code. So, no, we can do that.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
non-qualified.
Thank you. I'm glad you had that conversation this morning. That is wonderful.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a good thing I'm sharing all that stuff. So, anyone else? DC, I know you have lots of ones all the time.
Here's my stuff from the chopper.
I know, you just got DC. DC was on his way. He just got off the chopper.
He was not checking it.
He was literally off of Arrow Drive like 2 seconds ago.
So yeah,
We didn't even hear it.
This week, actually, one of the things I love about working with appreciation, because previously I worked at a place where once a year they would take us on a fishing trip. And the last time I was on a fishing trip with this company, I realized that if the owner wasn't paying for the fishing trip, I would never have the money or the time to go fishing, which is something that I love.
Yeah.
And so I went fishing up in the Channel Islands this week, where me and my buddies went. We go every year a couple times, and I didn't catch any fish, but you know, just being out there and not feeling any pressure about someone saying, you know, where you at, or you can't take this time off or anything like that. So that was a huge win, because there are some people who didn't go on this fishing trip because they couldn't get off work or they didn't have the money at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so that was a big win for me, just thinking about the freedom that we do have. And this week I actually went and saw a client for a second appointment. It was a client review. I signed up his wife, and then I met with him, and he was kind of standoffish. He's a Marine, and so I meet back with him just by himself. And when I sit down, he says, "Yes, I want to go ahead and set up the Roth IRA and the IUL like you set up for my wife." I'm like, "Okay, no problem. We do the applications." And then I go to one of my honey holes where I've been there working at this place for 2 or 3 years, and we actually just sitting there with coffee. Nobody showed up for my little coffee breakfast, but the 2 people who did show up both signed up for startups, one for 500, one for like 200. And I was just thinking that I'm going through the 1, 2, 3 and going through the script. And I'm like, this works. It works the same way every time. So, you know, when in doubt, go out. Because it's like, I could have packed up my coffee carrier and said, you know what, this is over, but I just sat there for, you know, a few more minutes and ended up getting, you know, a couple startups. So it was a good day. I mean, 4 policies in one day, to me, that warranted going fishing the next day.
Well, that was I can share in that sense too, because I just got back from a week of vacation, and I didn't have to ask anyone, and I was able to go and went with a couple colleagues from work too, and we were able to chat it up about like business and spend time away, and then come back, and it's like I was able to come back, and obviously I had taken care of everything. She had like everything, all of our policies up to date, what we needed to know, money's been received, what hasn't been received, all that stuff. And so even when I was gone, she was able to we did a policy delivery last week. We signed up a client right on the spot on the IUL. We showed her, Alicia did the illustrations and did 403B contributions of her $200, and then showed her what that would yield her in an IUL. And she's like, well, why doesn't everybody do this? It's like, well, because not all people are comfortable with life insurance. So we were able to do that, and then that client called Alicia back the next week and set a luncheon for us on her own, which we did on yesterday, and there was 6 people there, or 5 people? 5 people there, and we were able to set up 3 appointments, because they all want IULs. So it's like
Great.
an amazing,
And in the morning, I met with a client, and she's 34. She'll be receiving 100% of her income during retirement. And she said, but I still want to contribute $1,000 into my Fidelity account. And I told her, well, you already have this pre-tax money. And I explained to her the IUL, and she's very interested in that. So she said, okay, I'll just do $1,000 in the IUL. So I'm meeting her next week to show her numbers on that.
or to sign her up. Yeah, we're signing her up.
up.
And she did that one on her own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
She did that on her own. No, I wasn't there. She showed her and provided that value, so it was awesome. Anyone else? One more before we.
I always
Yeah,
have something to share, but I wanted to wait till.
No, we
Well,
have
Go
one
Ben.
more.
Yeah,
Whoever's
go
the
Ben.
one more, and then.
Yeah, Bernard went out this morning, was, door knocking and set 3 appointments, and we also got an opportunity to meet the principal at Burbank, and we set a luncheon for him as well, so.
Awesome.
Good morning this morning.
Nice.
Good morning.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
early,
yeah, we've
Friday, why not?
gone,
Huh.
yeah, right, we've gone out twice this week and set 6 appointments, so it's good.
Oh,
Good
good.
return on effort, yeah.
Awesome.
So I have a
Good job.
question. Does anybody have a problem explaining the IUL, or any issues, or is it complicated to explain?
No.
No?
Very simple.
Yeah. We have scripts and role play and all that great stuff. Illustration. Okay, so.
You guys met Jeff, I'm assuming, right? You guys been in a room with him for a while now. Jeff came to us, working remote. Jeff came to us, he's been working some pairs. As you know, Para has been selling appointments to outside agents, and Jeff reached out to me, because Para says, hey, we've got this brokerage or this group that we sell appointments to, and they're essentially, they're the experts in regards to school district marketing, right? And so Jeff had experienced, Jeff had experienced, probably because he dropped the remote, basically some struggles with the pairs, and we needed a little bit of system, yes? Right? And so we sat down and he's talking about 5 minutes of just imagine if you started receiving pairs, even though you've been in the industry for, he's been licensed longer than I've been alive, by the way, right? But just imagine if you start receiving paras with 0 training on the conversation, right? And so it's a different type of conversation in financial services, the regular financial services, right? Where you're going to meet with the husband and the wife at their kitchen table to discuss their retirement scenario, whereas para appointments, they're expecting, to talk about their pension primarily, yes? Right? They want some answers, some solutions in regards to that. And then also, as being in the industry, it's a little different where, the 403 market, guys, it's an interesting market, right? Meaning, I know we're used to it, we're familiar, and some of us, that's all we know. However, it's not a typical financial services scenario. And so a lot of times there's the time horizons, the discretionary income, so I was going over with Jeff exactly how to make the best of those scenarios, how to make it a profitable scenario. And so the original plan, I believe, with Para and selling the outside appointments was essentially this. Hey, outside agents are going to struggle, need some solutions around marketing strategies, around the best ways to make the most efficient use of their time and their money. And they're going to be looking to talk with appreciation about coming on board possibly, right? Getting some coaching of some sort. And so we've worked out some agreements and different things with different agencies and all that stuff. So Jeff, can you maybe even speak to, in our conversations, world of difference as far as, the solutions there?
Well, I can only say that if you've been in the business for a while and you've talked to different IMOs out in the world, if you have a license, they market to you all the time, right? They're trying to sell you their system. And 98% of them lie to you. They lie to you. And I got lied to by a company called Uncafer. And the reason I'm bringing this up was because they introduced this teacher appointment thing. I thought, oh, I have clients that are teachers. My wife's a school teacher. This would be fun. No training. Here's the appointment. Go, Jeff. So I didn't know what to do, so I had to teach myself what a 403B, how to work that, and how to talk to these people. I went on the internet and I taught myself everything I thought I could know. And I went on to about 12 appointments. Nice people. I got second appointments, but I didn't know anything about the paperwork, you know, how to submit anything, how to get it through, you know, the payroll department, all that stuff. So Rob, who runs Para, told me about appreciation. And I Googled him and found the phone number in Las Vegas and called him, and they hooked me up with Brett, who was nice enough to call me a couple weeks later, and I came to meet him, and I just thought, this guy's legit. Honest, integrity, transparency, everything that I wanted to work.
That's why.
Well, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. I mean, you know, I love my business, I love the clients, but I hate the IMOs. They're the biggest liars on the planet. Been around long enough, you'll find that out. So it was cool that they're in San Diego, and you know, he was open and honest, and we hit it off. We're friends, and so here I am.
Nice.
Is that good enough?
Nice.
Welcome.
And so, and I mean, this is what we talk about as far as collapsing time frames, as far as the support that we have with appreciation though as well. Whereas we've got a ton of support here, guys, and it's not the norm in the industry, right? If you just were to go get a contract with National Life Group, and this is where I probably said, guys, there's higher contracts out there. If you're just got in this business just to sell, great. There's other contracts you could go get just to sell. But the challenge would be you wouldn't have the support of the back office, you wouldn't have the support of NBC, you wouldn't have the support of the tracking, you wouldn't have the support of the team, you wouldn't have the support of somebody already goofed it all up all the which ways that they could for you already. And say, hey, watch out for that hole, watch out for that hole, watch out for that hole. This by the way, those tips are gonna save you months of irritation. Right?
One of the most important things you left off is they wouldn't have Boxer.
Yeah, they would have boxers, right? They would have boxers. Wake you up. If you're on the Houston chat, wake you up at 5 a.m., right? I just want to start with some comedic relief. Yesterday, you know, our 10-year-old Addison, it was his championship baseball game, and there was somebody who was really, really excited who attended the game, and I just want you guys to see this. This is hilarious.
Go, good job!
So Addison's on third, he scores. Alright.
There you go, come
He got a base
go,
hit.
Good job!
He gets in there, and then somebody's really, really excited.
Is that you?
He was really excited.
I never saw it. You never showed me it yesterday.
And then they won.
Oh, they did. Wait, tell me, Johnny, you never showed me yesterday.
I don't know the words. Oh, that was awesome, right?
That's awesome.
Oh,
That's
did you
good
see?
stuff.
We'll see. I'll show it to you.
Where's
Oh,
the
wait, it's
pom-poms?
live, never mind.
Yeah. So that was awesome, right? That's his first year of baseball, so that's super, super cool. You guys were talking about the vacations and the different things. I mean, guys, this is you know, one of the reasons why we do what we do, and the reason why our company is structured this way. You know, DC to go on a fishing trip like that. You know, this year we were fortunate enough to get invited on the National Life Group Conference of Champions, which typically what we do is we pass on a lot of the carrier trips And usually it's just been Dom and Terry that were privy to go on these trips, right? Last year they finally opened up. They had 2 more invitations open for myself and JM, right, our spouses. And so we went to Naples, Florida last year. This year we went to Bermuda, right? And so Bermuda was super, super cool. As I've gotten older, I don't know about you guys, but as I've gotten older, I'm a little bit more careful with things like deep sea swimming. I don't know, right? I just figure I got some stuff to do tomorrow. I want to make sure no sharks interrupt that, right? So, however, we were able to go out like 3, 4, 5 miles out and jumped in the water, open water out there, and there was a shipwreck, right? So in Bermuda, you guys are familiar with Bermuda Triangle. Really, a lot of the ships sink or crash. There are 300 shipwrecks out there. Because of the reefs, really. And so a lot of and they overpacked a lot of the ship. This one shipwreck that we went and saw, they overpacked it. And so I didn't get the recording of the shipwreck. Amanda got some recording underneath. I just didn't want to drop my phone down there. I was like, no, I'm good, right? And it was funny because every time Terry would go out super far, we went snorkeling like 3, 4 times. I was just like, all right, well, if he's over there, he's telling me it's probably not a shark over there. Probably not anything that's gonna mess with me over there. I wouldn't say shark, but I mean there's other things, right? And so I was out, so I would always swim up to him, like, hey, what's up, bro? I'm out here. Like, hey. He's like, dude, you're hilarious. You keep coming out to prove it to yourself that you come out this far or whatever. I'm like, yep, sure did, right? I mean, even Amanda's like me though. Like we were swimming together, and she's like, oh my gosh, there's a bunch of fish right there. Can you clear a path for us? So I'm like doing my fins like to clear a path. And we look back, like, they didn't move at all, right? Oh gosh, we got to swim through them, right? So they didn't touch us at all. But it was awesome. So, kind of want to get into some of the tracking, and I'll get into, like, the comp and stuff, just to kind of reiterate for some of our older agents, like, how exciting this business can and should be financially for you, as well as for a reminder to some of our newer agents as well. And so, I just want to show you guys, I want to kind of reminisce a little bit and show you how far we've come. This is May of 18. This is the Team Synergy Tracker. Ideally, you are updating your numbers when you submit a sale. Okay, so you write the sale, you're going to submit it on the eApp system. It automatically, with the eApp, the NBC stuff, it's going to be automatically input into your CRM. Hopefully you are using the CRM, guys. Use it like crazy. We need feedback, just like, you know how you hear like the Google, or you see the Google Analytics, or the Facebook, or the all these different websites, they all want feedback, yes? Can you do this survey? Travelocity emails you every 10 minutes if you take a trip, right? They want to hear feedback as far as how things went. Well, the same thing with our company, we're just not asking for it as regularly. In order for us to get the feedback, though, we need people to use the CRM and for us to get the feedback to see if it's working for everybody, right? So please use the CRM. But this Team Synergy Tracker, guys, not everybody in our hierarchy uses it, it's fine. It's not mandatory. However, I do ask that if you choose to use it, that you just choose it and you surrender to the process and you use it. Make sense? It's not like, well, I get to use it. I kind of use it when I write big deals. No, that's not what it's for, right? So you can track your submitted production, and it's tracked on a gross commission on a monthly basis. First, I do want to highlight Eric Ong. Did you guys see this? $66,000 in gross commissions submitted. Yes?
What?
$66,000, right? Another suggestion I also want to make is that when we come to trainings, if you're newer agent, you should bring your agent manual, right? And for note-taking purposes, and then also or if you already filled it up, bring a hardbound journal for note-taking purposes. For older agents, I would still bring the journal for note-taking purposes, so that ideally, the goal is that ideally one day you have your own office. Well, you're gonna have to train on something that day, right? I've got journals and journals and journals, and I've got notes and notes and notes in my phone from past trainings from every single company we've been with, every single speaker, everything, right? A lot of times people think I'm in a meeting, I'm texting, I'm taking notes, right? So, 66,000 is what he submitted for the month of May in gross commissions, and look at his first quarter numbers though, 63,000. So in 3 months, he did in 1 month what he did in 3 months, right? It's pretty powerful. This is what we're talking about, collapsing time frames. Some of us have goals to get out of debt or purchase a car or just move to that better house, that bigger house, or whatever, the nicer neighborhood, whatever it might be. Guys, this is how you're able to collapse time frames. So you know what, I can do what I did in the last 3 months, I can do it in 1 month. Boom, get it done, right? But I want to remind you guys, I want to remind everybody exactly how far we've come. If you take a look at the May, this is May, $355,000 in gross commissions submitted. These are the number of cities that we're in that are tracking on here. We got some other cities that our hierarchy has expanded to that don't even track on here, so I also want you to keep that in mind. So this $355,000 in gross commissions, mind you, July 2010 is when we opened this office, Suite 6 next door. It's just me and Mercedes, right? That was it. So we're talking about in 8 years, we've got this many agents, right? This is what, 14 through 139. I don't know what the math is on that. Was that 125 or so, right? That's just on here, and I'll show you the total number, actual total number of business submitted. But I want to show you how far we've come. When I first created this Team Synergy tracker for our submitted business, we didn't have a submitted business report in the back office from home office at all. Right? We were getting commission statements, initial commission statements on a Word document. Right? But this is how far we've come. Look at this. This was Team Synergy, September 2012. 44,000 in gross commissions. Right? 44,000. We did 30 annuity apps and 16 life apps. September 2012. So no matter where you are in your business, I mean, this is what, 6 years ago almost. $44,000 in gross commissions. So we had 2 through 12, 10 people splitting 44,000, right? Which, as you can see, I was leading from the front, personally producing a lot. I knew when we initially got started, I had to personally produce a lot in order to show people what was possible, right? What was possible. But then eventually what happened is, and this is how it's going to be in your appreciation business, is initially your income and your personal production, it's like this, right? You get if you have a team or start your team, it's like this much override. But then as you continue to train and get your people through the 3 stages, awkward to mechanical to natural, right? Awkward to mechanical to natural. It's okay to be in each of these stages, but not to stay in awkward, not to stay in mechanical. Make sense? So if you get to mechanical, so as you see this growth here, right? Is that something or no? 44,000. Fast forward, we've got 355,000. Right? That's now. What do you think? In September 2012, I was like, oh man, I did all 44,000. I submitted 17. This thing doesn't work. Right? There are some people that I met with that weren't wanting to really do the business. Right? Anybody meet with any trainers meet with trainees that say they want to do the business and actions prove otherwise?
Yeah.
Right? And so at that time, I always believed, I always knew. I had this little, which I don't know where it is now, I gotta find it. But above my office door in Suite 6, I had the little thing that said believe, right? Every day, walking in and out, it said believe, right? And I write 75 agents on a sticky sheet and put it up next to the lights and put it on my computer and put it everywhere around the office. So I want 75 licensed agents producing. Right, that's a big goal if there's 10 of us, right? And mind you, it took a long time for us to cross over 50 agents. We would go up to it was like some of you guys, your MVP promotion, right? It was like 35, 40, 42, 43, 38, right? As far as number of agents before we crossed over 50. And for whatever reason, as soon as we crossed over 50, it was like 75 and 100. It was like fast, okay? So my point to you is this: if I'm new, what I'm thinking about is getting from awkward to mechanical to natural as fast as possible. That's going to be as, I just know this. My mind operates in the arena of its most dominating thought. Make sense? If all I'm thinking about is my debt, then I'm pretty debt savvy, right? I know all my interest rates. I know, the when the credit card is due. I know all these things, right? Because my mind operates in the arena of its most dominating thought. right? But if I'm thinking about growth, growing the business, growing my team, growing my company within a company, that's the opportunity we have. I've got a company built within a company. Make sense? All right. So now I'll show you. That's just who actually updates their numbers. By the way, on the Team Synergy tracker. I know a lot of people like to compete that way and show them, there.
Everything that you're going over is, I just literally went over with Alicia yesterday too.
That's awesome.
And I was showing her Eric On's numbers, and we were kind of like, is that last month or was that the quarter? And he did that, like just what you just pointed out, the quarter, and then this month what he did.
He's crushing it. I know he's getting geared up for his summer. He likes to take summers off, likes to take a couple of vacations, right? Speaking of vacations, we have the Cabo trip coming up. DC just qualified for Cabo, right? Guys, that's huge, right? When you get a taste of, and I strongly recommend any trip. Now I'm gonna say that I think what led to this is any little company trip, any contest, guys, fight like mad if you have an opportunity to be around, any of the MVPs, Terry Kennedy. I mean, that's a different type of energy, right? And so I believe what triggered him to fight like mad to get to this Cabo trip was he had qualified for our Catalina trip, right? We did a Catalina trip. If you got your name on 25 apps in a month, some of us hear content say, oh, well, it's not for me, or oh, well, I don't know, I got a slow week, I got a slow month, but not DC that month. He said, no, I'm going to qualify for Catalina. I want to go to Catalina, right? So we went on our boat, which was, when we left for San Diego, that we left at the wrong time. And it felt like, was that Wolf of Wall Street, Deadliest Perfect Storm. The plan was that we were going to go to Orange County and then and go from Catalina, or from Orange County to Catalina with everybody, the whole group. But when the boat was doing this and the bell was ringing every wave, we asked the captain, said, which one's closer, man? We need to get off this thing, please. He's like, well, this one, Catalina's closer. We're like, we need to go to Catalina right now. Like, we don't care. We'll stay anywhere on the island. We don't have a room booked for the night. We will stay. We need to get off this boat, right?
How big was the boat?
I was a 48-foot Sea Ray.
Yeah, but it didn't matter that day.
It didn't matter that day. It was supposed to leave like 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. We left at like 12 p.m. And that was horrible. I was like, I don't like my boat anymore, right? So guys, but look at this. Okay, so I want to show you these P stones on this production here. I'm going to show you. But this is for the month of May, the submitted business report from the company. So we've submitted as a hierarchy 670 applications for the month, right? You may be in your business right now where you're doing 6 or 7 apps in a month. But if you work hard at it consistently enough, I'm talking about showing up to Mondays and Fridays and always be recruiting, always talking about, when I'm talking about recruiting, it's not always that you're getting someone signed up all the time. But if you're constantly on the phones telling people about your business and say, hey, can I get together with you? Can I show you what it is I'm doing? Maybe you can refer me some people down the line. Hey, let me get you on the call with you got a background in banking. Let me get you on the phone with Sophia Corona. She's had $25,000 months with our company before. I know you guys probably speak the same language. You can do 3-way calls that way. Use some leverage that way. That makes sense? Right? And somebody got a construction background. Use Bobby Gray. I mean, guys, use that leverage that way. It doesn't always have to be you. This is where I talk about there's enough resources. The question is, are you being resourceful enough? Okay? So, 670 apps. This is how many agents we have Right Business this month. 193. 193. So I showed you some other numbers where people weren't tracking or whatever. But 193 wrote business this month. Okay? So, top target. Now, also look at this though. Look how many people didn't submit life insurance. Now on this side, actually, let's do it this way. Plan premium. That means 0 premiums coming in. Sometimes if they write term, nothing shows up in the target column, but money shows up in the plan premium. So look how many people are not writing life insurance on a monthly basis though. How many zeros are we seeing? We got 50 people that didn't write any life insurance policies for the month. Now, I want you to think about this. Life insurance pays out 6 times as much as, like, if it's just flow to flow, just numbers to numbers, 6 times. Do you think you should be adding a mix to your business? Right? I was in Tracy Beckhus's office, I think yesterday, and she was like, she went through her client list and how many of them didn't have life insurance with her, and she marked them in red. When I looked at her screen, it looked like the red seat, right? I was like, what is wrong with your computer? Right? It was all red. She's like, I'm scaring myself because this is all of my clients that don't have life insurance with me. So what we talk about is doing a comprehensive strategy. Is it a little bit of work? Then what I'm finding is a lot of our agents are just going and doing business with the person that says yes for the very first time. Yes, I want to meet with you. I do a luncheon. I do a breakfast. I go door knock. Somebody says yes, and they want to put away $200 a month, and I just write that up, and $400, $500 a month, and I just write that up, and then I just kind of see you in February, right? That's a huge challenge. One of the reasons why you're able to pick up as much business as you're able to pick up is because of the fact that they haven't seen their person in however long. So don't be the difference and then become the same. Does that make sense? Like their past AXA, MetLife, First Investors, Oppenheimer, Rep, whoever that they haven't seen it since February. Don't do that. Go back and say, hey, I was reviewing your file. You as a client, Lynn, would you feel better if I came to you as an advisor and said, hey, Lynn, I was reviewing your file?
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Does that make sense, guys? Like I was reviewing your file, and I think I may have come up with an alternate strategy that could possibly yield you more money during retirement. Do you have some time for me to pop by and visit with you next week? She thinks she'll say, heck no, I can't stand you finding me more money, right? Who do you think you are finding me more money, right? No, there's going to be value in that. Make sense? Now, I've got to work up the strategies. So it's a little time consuming. I got to work with strategy, but that to me pop at the same time, not at all. That would be like an explosion in your microwave, right?
Make it very lively.
Yeah. So that client's going to pop and become your actual client at a different point in time. Are you going to need more money in the future?
Oh, for sure.
You're going to need that commission for that sale come July or August, whenever divorce is filed, right? That's okay.
Oh, no.
So you're planting those seeds for now, all right? So now, so that was life insurance. Let's see, top target life insurance submitted for the month, $13,000. Pia Jones out of Houston, right? $13,000. Top annuity transfer for the month, we got Eric Ong, $893,000. Annualized flow top for the month, $306,000. Lisa Ryerson out of Sacramento, right? That's for the month. All right, now I'll show you, these are the numbers that I was referring to, P-Rye, that you are on. I ran year-to-date numbers, okay? It's going to feel good, but it's going to hurt, okay?
Brace yourself.
Brace yourself. Put your seatbelt on. No, but there's a lot of solutions around it, and easier solutions. Right? You're like the quarterback that can throw the 75-yard pass. Okay? We just got to get you throwing some 5-yard outs, too. Right? From his knees, the 75-yard, right? Boom. Right? I mean, you've gotten the biggest, some of the biggest startups ever consistently. Okay? I mean, plenty of Boxer messages where he does a pair appointment, walks out with a $1,500 startup, right? Those are like, you've got like 15 of those, by the way. Like, it's just crazy. It's going to take a little while to compose. Don't you want your company numbers taking a little while to compute like this?
Mm-hmm.
Year-to-date numbers almost shuts down the internet. It takes a little while. Alright, we'll pull up a minute. Jamila, you mind being a scribe? You mind just sitting here? Because I'm going to start writing on the board. And then Joanne, you mind turning that camera por favor? That's Spanish, by the way.
I only speak English and ASL.
That was funny. I like that number.
I know, you should be doing that right there, Joanna.
I know, right?
Doing like the lady who wasn't real for the police office.
That was funny. Hey, somebody knows her. Somebody like locally knows her.
She was something like this.
She was doing fake sign language. Like somebody, I was watching with somebody was like, hey, I know her. I was like, you know that
But
fraud?
it's like how is she doing it for the police? They're detectives. They didn't detect that.
Detect that. Alright, so look at, click on annualized flow, on the right column there, annualized flow, all the way to the right. Just click it twice. Okay, so you see P Stone is there, number 3 in the hierarchy, year to date, with $150,000 of monthly flow, or in annual flow. Annual flow. So 150,000 divided by 12 is what 13 or so? $13,000 a month going into annuity products. However, if you look at his life insurance numbers, target life premium $4,200, which means he's got about $350 a month going into life insurance products. Or if you look at the plan premium, $6,600, which is dramatically overfunding his life insurance strategies, which he should be. That's the right way to do it. Okay, you will, if you come across permanent life insurance clients, and they're typically with a previous advisor, previous company, it's 9 times out of 10 it's written the wrong way. Meaning that the agent chose to write it with so much, it's almost like, okay, there's $500 in contributions, it was like $400 a month target. $450 a month target. And that's just right now. Because the cost of insurance is not level, it's not always going to remain the same. As the client gets older, if I'm 35 today, when I'm 45, my cost of insurance is going to go up in a permanent life insurance scenario. Does that make sense? When I'm 55, it's going to go up. When I'm 65, it's going to go up. This is why we overfund the policies. So what you can do is when you encounter these cash value life insurance policies, you can ask for an enforced illustration, right? Enforced illustration. That means what the path that they're currently on, if they continue on that path, what would that yield them in the future, right? 9 times out of 10, I mean, that's how I got Barbara Mahoney's parents as a client, right? I asked for an enforced illustration. The mom had put in $10,000, was contributing a few $100s per month, and it showed. I asked for an enforced illustration, and it showed in like year 10 the policy was gonna lapse. All the money she put in was gonna be gone, right? Do you think she wanted that policy anymore? No. Do you think she liked that agent anymore? Not at all, right? So this is one of the reasons why we have a company-wide guideline as far as 25% above target, right? So in P Stone's scenario, $6,600 annually is what his clients are funding their IULs at. So it's around what, $500, $550 a month, right? But he's got $550 a month going into life insurance, but it's got $13,000 a month going into annuities. It's a little off balance, yes? So I know he's working diligently on getting back even, and that's fine to get those smaller yeses, which are annuity yeses. This is what the clients are feeling a lot more comfortable with. They're more familiar with it. Every one of their colleagues talks about their retirement at the lunchroom. They always got that one person close to retirement. All right, that's in the lunchroom. That's talking about her 403B and her guy or her. You know, they always have one or two, they chatty catties or whatever, right? That's talking about that scenario, and if that new agent, that new client comes in and they're well, my guy hooked me up with this life insurance strategy. Oh, you gotta be careful with that, right? So it helps to get that smaller yes, the annuity yes, and then come back and say, hey, I was reviewing your file. All right, I may have found a strategy that could possibly yield you more money during retirement. You'll be the judge of that, of course. But can I pop by and meet with you next week? Does Tuesday or Thursday work better for you? Right? So he's got $13,000 a month of flow to divert. As I said, it's going to hurt. It's going to feel good, though, too. All right? So that's great. In the hierarchy, number 3 in the hierarchy, you've been on board, what, like?
7 months.
Yeah, exactly. All right? So there's a lot to be said about that. That's awesome. So thanks for being our scribe there. All right? Actually, click on year-to-date. Year-to-date annuity transfer. Click on the annuity transfer there. Boom. Top transfer, 1.7. Eric Ong, 1.7. Look how many apps he's done. Now, here's another thing that I also look at. Is you see the policy column? Yes? All right. You see the policy column, and he's got 135 apps. Now, his portion, his split is 130.25. What does that tell me?
That he doesn't have a team.
He doesn't have a team. He's not necessarily training people. right? A lot of his production is personal production, and he's writing these deals by himself. That makes sense? Now you look at, let's see, if you go scroll down a little bit, you got Rochelle Meldy down there. She's got 42 total apps that she has her name on, but 23.65 is her portion. So it's almost like half. Where she's splitting a lot of sales, and typically she's splitting with someone that's on her team. She's working with a team. She's working in an office in which they go out together and really expound that synergy there, right? Synergy. That's why we call it team synergy, by the way. All right. So you could look at, you look at anybody's numbers there, you can say, okay, who's working with someone, who's teaching and training people, or are they out there as a lone wolf? Now, there's different strokes for different folks. It's not good, bad, or indifferent. However, for me, personally, what I wanted to create, understand this, in July of 2010, it was myself and Mercedes were in a one-bedroom condo, and with our 4 kids, right? We were very close, okay? Literally and figuratively, right? And so Mercedes and I, what we would do is we would watch TV in like the little living room area, and we'd put the kids in the bed. And then when it was time to go to bed, we would move the kids to the sectional, right? So I got these biceps. People ask me all the time, right? And some of my kids don't lay good, right? You ever pick up a kid that don't lay well, lay away from you? I'm like, how do you lay away from me? Right? That laying on me would be more comfortable. Like Munchie would just, like, what in the world, right? So anyway, guys. So for me personally, July of 2010, when we're in a 1-bedroom condo with 4 kids, what am I thinking about? I want to create a bunch of leverage. I want to build a team, right? So I didn't go in the field by myself. That personal production that you saw in September 2012, that was still splitting deals with people. Right? I was going in the field with 3 or 4 trainees, and all right, you're on this luncheon, you're on this luncheon, all right, great, I'll split this cell with you, I'll split this cell with you, and everything. But I had to show them how to get it done first. That make sense? All right, so I kind of want to briefly go over, all right, just the comp plan briefly, just to kind of remind you guys how powerful this can be. Take full advantage of it. All right, so when you first come on board, you get started at a, what contract level? 50%. Is there, should be a black marker.
I think it's hiding underneath.
No, that's an evil marker, that's not good. I had gone through and I kind of filtered all the good markers to put them up here. But,
So did I, but I checked last night, and I was like.
all right. So you first get started, you start at 50% contract level, right? And then you move up in 10% increments, yes?
Yep.
Did you know that there's a fast track option? Right? Meaning, okay, so I do 5 sales with my trainer, bumps me up to 60%, right?
5 more.
And I do 5 more, bumps me up to 70%. So it's a total of 10 sales that I have watched with my trainer. This is not, hey, I set the appointment. I set the appointment with the trainer. I was there at the luncheon, the appointment was set, and then I just kind of went home and made a sandwich. Okay? It's not that. And then the trainer went in and closed the deal, and all of a sudden I get split in on it. Trainers, don't do that. Don't split trainees in if they're not on that. They're not there. There was no learning. That was the whole point. You want to see them teach them 10 times. But if they were only there for 5 times, they didn't learn. Make sense? They need to see transactions finished, completed from start to finish. From the prospecting to the delivering the policy. That's start to finish. Whatever the prospecting effort is, and so me as a trainee, what I would be doing, what I should be doing is reach down to a trainer, hey, how can I help with the transaction? What else is needed? What else is needed? What else is needed? Trainers, what I need you guys to do is relinquish the control and allow the trainees to do a lot of the work. Right? As I show up to a training, I show up to a training appointment, let's say, we went door knocking, we set the appointment. I show up with like my business cards and a pen. My trainee is going to show up with their training materials, their presentation marketing materials, those laminates, right? They're showing up with it. VC, is that true?
Absolutely.
Right? I'm like, oh, where are your marketing materials? I didn't bring it. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, it's going to be interesting. So I'll get some scratch paper. I'm not bringing it. I'm not surrendering. I'm not rescuing you, this way. I'll write it out. But it also showed him, like, dang, he knows his stuff. This dude knows. It was the same words, right? Whether I had the laminates or not, right? Same words. I knew how to draw it up, everything. Guys, that's the difference. That's how well you should know. If I'm a trainee, this is again from awkward to mechanical to natural. If I'm a trainee, I'm studying that. Week 1 or week 2, maybe like the midweek of week 2, I came into my office, training DC, and my office door is closed. I told him I would do this intentionally as a trainer. Hey, I'll meet you at the office there at 9. I would show up at 9:30. I just want to see exactly what he's going to do in his downtime. I want to see if he's going to, or is he's going to make it about me. Because there's plenty of assignments and different things for him to learn, yes? Plenty of things that I've given him to learn from already. Or is he going to make it about me being late? Or is he going to make the most efficient use of his time? So my office door is closed. I'm like, what in the world's going on? I come in there, and sure enough, he's got his phone propped up, and he's recording himself to the presentation. Right? Making the most efficient use of his time. He's already working on that. He's working to get from awkward to mechanical and natural. Okay? So these 10 sales through trainee. Now, the fast track promotion I'm talking about, it typically takes what to get to 80%?
The 15,000 paid out?
10,000.
$15,000 paid out. 15,000. Or if I want to do a fast track promotion, then what? 10,000 and 1 recruit, right? 10,000 and 1 recruit. Make sense? Right? That's a fast track promotion. I want to ideally help people, those that are serious about recruiting and building a team. If you want to have a multiple 6-figure passive residual income coming in, right? Then you got to build a team. That's what Terry talked to me about in July of 2010 when he said, meet me out here. He's like, I don't know anybody that's going to be able to build a multiple 6-figure income in the schools without building a team. Make sense? I mean, yeah, and we've got one of those, right?
Yeah.
We've got one of those. That's a maybe. And then guess what? The challenge with being a personal producer is I got to go do it all over again next month. Make sense? Hey, $50,000, bust my hump, woohoo, in a month, yeah. Oh, gotta do it again, right?
It's tiring.
Right, exactly, right? So I'd rather make the $50,000 a month in overrides and residuals, coaching people up, spending time with people, right? I let DC go beat up on me in pool, and he feels great about it, right? Look at that smile, ear to ear, he's happy.
Let me win.
I'll let him win, right? All right, to get to 90%, 25,000, right? Paid to you. This is the gross commissions. This is split between you and your trainer, right? Was this the transfer? Some of our trainees don't even know these numbers. Do your trainees know these numbers? That tells you how serious they are about actually building and getting the field and how much they're paying attention, right? It's in the agent manual, by the way. That's where all the best kept secrets are. So, there's a fast track promotion option that basically allows you what? 20,000 plus 2 recruits. So, if I want to make the most efficient use of my time, what I'm doing is I'm focusing hard on getting to that 20,002. Right? 20,002. And that's I'm focused on like a madman or a madwoman, right? I'm doing, if I've got the time availability and all I got to do is I got to work on my it's pretty simple. I got a script of 5 questions. 5 question script. How long you been with the district? Always here at this school. Have you taken advantage of the 4th B? If you don't mind me asking, what company is it with? Boom, ouch. All right, great. Set the appointment. Right? I do that in breakfast. I do that in luncheons. I do that in door knocking. Right? So what it should look like, if you're doing breakfast, luncheon, and door knocking on a weekly basis, how much, if you had, let's say, on a 5-day week, how many prospecting opportunities is that?
25 a week easy.
You could have 25 a week, right? Let's take half of that. Let's call it 12, right? So if I had 12 prospecting outings, breakfast, luncheons, door knocking, how many appointments should I schedule or could I schedule? What's a decent amount to schedule from 12 prospecting outings?
Easily 20.
So for 12, you can schedule 20
Easily.
easily,
Yeah.
right? Can we say we can schedule 2 per?
Yeah.
2. You go do a breakfast. Do you expect to schedule less than 2 appointments? You go do a luncheon. Do you expect to schedule less than 2 appointments? You go door knocking. Do you expect to schedule less than 2 appointments? No. So if I go do those things, and how's Benjamin doing?
It's good.
Okay, Benjamin's
Sorry,
good.
His
he's
middle
eating.
name is
He's
DC.
hungry.
This is-
Benjamin DC Racket.
Oh, yeah. So,
But his first name is Benjamin.
Lots of kids go by their middle name.
So we're clear.
12 outings, right? I got 2 appointments per outing. So we got 24 appointments set. 24 appointments set for the next week. Right? Let's say 4, cancel, flake, reschedule, enter the witness protection program. Nobody's even heard of the person. Right? Like, really? You just never heard of this person? I met them right here. Like, they're right here last week. Nope, never heard of them. Right? And that happened to anybody? Right? So, let's just say, so then you actually have 20 appointments. 21st appointments. Right? You actually do these 21st appointments. How many do you think will reschedule for a second one? What's your closing ratio of rescheduling the second appointment to go right business?
The minimum's half.
Minimum's half. If I goof up, if I get half in school, by the way, right? I get half in school. That's what percentage? 50%. What grade is that? Fail. Okay. So what I'm challenging you to do is go fail on appointments. Okay. Go fail. Go get an F, please, on your first appointment. Go get an F, and you schedule 10 second appointments. Out of 10 second appointments, how much business should you be writing?
I know, right?
Should be 10, in my opinion, right?
At least 8.
If you're closing the right way, if I'm saying to someone, hey Ben, thanks a lot for sharing this information with me today. Hey, I'm going to put several hours in putting together a strategy for you. If when I come back, if it's better than if my recommendation is better than what you're currently doing, is there any reason why I couldn't earn your business?
No.
Okay, of course you'll be the judge of that and everything, but I just want to make sure. I'm going to put several hours in putting this together a strategy here for you. Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay. Awesome. He gave me the commitment. He just said if it's better than what he's currently doing, do I really have to grind that hard to put something better together than what's being offered out there in the schools? Oppenheimer charging 5.75%. You got First Investors charging 5.75%. As soon as I expose this information, I give them a $100 challenge. I say, you know what, Ben. So listen, this is how you sell a fact finder, by the way, right? I said, listen, I got a $100 challenge that if your account's been gaining more than 5% since inception, I'll give you $100.
I'll take that.
Right? Let's take that challenge. Right? Now, chances are, I already know, guys, I've evaluated thousands and thousands of accounts. I've come across like 3 that did greater than 5% since inception. I'm not talking about, hey, this month you did 12. But last year you did negative 12. Right? Somehow your guy's telling you that's an average of great. Right? You see how I'm creating value for that, guys? And I'm bringing a different confidence level than some of us sometimes, right? Just know you've got the freaking golden goose that lays the egg for their nest egg in retirement. You see that? You like that? All right, cool. All right.
You have very long arms.
So if I do 10 second appointments, am I closing? Let's say 8. 8. I close 8. 2 gotta wait. Close 8. 2 gotta wait. Right? So close 8. 2 gotta wait. I close 8. 8 appointments. Now, if I know I got 8 closes actually. If I know the average size transfer is $25,000, and that yields an average commission of about $1,500 gross commission, right? That's transfer, and then there's we've got what? I could do some IULs, yes, or I can do the flow, right? The flow. Average size flow is $500 per month. All right, this whole hot pink one. favorite color. $500 a month, right? That yields me like a $300 commission, right? So this is $300 in gross commissions. The average size, so I've got transfer, I've got flow, I've got life insurance. Now, if I do term, the average size term is going to be like $50 a month. That's going to be about like $300 in gross commissions. The average size IUL is going to be about $2,000 in target. That's going to yield me about $1,400. So I'm taking, it's like a buffet. I'm taking a choice of basically where the client's going to fit in, right? Make sense? It's just a menu of options. All I'm doing is I go these 12 outings, right? The challenge is if I do 2, man, these numbers change dramatically, right? I go do 2. Oh, it's a busy week. I had to drop off my dry cleaning. I had to get my car washed, and then you know, I was thinking about being sick, and then right? That's what happens. Salespeople are the best in the world at selling who first? Themselves. Every day it's the successful you versus the unsuccessful you. They're battling out every day. Some of us let the unsuccessful us win too often though. Make sense?
He's so strong.
He's so strong. Hey, the best salesman in the world. He reminded me how comfortable this bed is, right? He reminded me how the sun shines out and nobody should have to work in this beautiful weather, right? Why? Well,
the teachers are busy.
Teachers are busy.
I don't want to bother them.
I checked all of their itineraries. It said they're all busy, right? Like, Fridays, no, they don't like to be bothered on Fridays. Why would I, right? All these stories that unsuccessful you sells you on, right? So if I go from 12 to 2, it dramatically affects this. So we've got to do the prospecting efforts. If we're not doing the prospecting efforts, then guess who can do the prospecting efforts for us? Para? Para, that's the value there.
The trainee.
The trainee. Now I wouldn't say, hey, go out there and get them. You know, the trainee, you just drop them off at school. Hey, you don't get back in this car until you set, 5 appointments. You understand? Right? You don't get back in this car. How many appointments you set? Right? No, you got to.
I hope you have Uber on your phone.
No, so I mean, now you can create leverage. I've done that where once I felt as if the trainee was up to confidence proficiency level, where I'm saying, hey, you know what, we've got a couple people that we need to follow up on. Hey, I'm going to go over here to this school, you go over here to this school, and let's divide and conquer. We're both going out there and working and creating. Make sense?
Yeah.
That's totally different than, hey, I'll be here in the office. I gotta, talk to my grandma real quick, and you go out and prospect. That's totally different. Okay, so you want to make sure now. If I'm going to do these 12 outings, I need to pre-plan these outings. Yes, I don't need to show up. It doesn't serve me to show up on Monday and not know where I'm going Monday afternoon, right? Or any day of the week. I should be pre-planning my day already from these 12 outings. Now, mind you, if you really want to be successful, from these 12 outings, and you schedule 24, do you think there are some people that you talked to that didn't schedule? Right? Those 12 outings, there was two appointments that you set, but maybe you talked to 5 people. What about those other 3? Right? I went door knocking, I talked to 5 people, I scheduled 2. What about those other 3? Are you going to follow up with them? That's the difference between the you now and the successful you. I promise you that. Because you got to be the difference. If I've got $100,000, I'm not transferring it to you the very first time I meet you. Just say, hey, you walked in. Hey, I've been waiting I got the paperwork filled out. I'm just ready to transfer it to you. That's not how it happens.
I dream about you.
All right? How it happens is, hey, you know what? Patrick, you've been following up with me like crazy. I've seen you here a number of times. I know you helped, my teacher next door, the teacher on this side, and across the way from me as well. I feel comfortable transferring, my life savings to you, and I like the strategy and everything, but I like you. Does that make sense? That's the difference. But it's because he did that outing, he didn't schedule with me initially, and he came back by and he did a pop by. And he followed up. And he followed up. And he followed up. And created that popcorn kernel that then pop later on. It makes sense? Alright, so guys, that's the opportunity that we have, and the reason I wrote down the contract level, guys, you take your contract levels off of that, and you reverse engineer and figure out exactly how much you want to make. You want to make $5,000 next month? You want to make $10,000 next month? Reverse engineer it. You have all the numbers right here. You have all the resources. Okay? Question is, are you being resourceful enough? That's really the message that I want to get across. So that's where we are time-wise, guys. I appreciate you guys a great deal. As we know, the schools, our traditional schools are until like what, June 6th?
6th or 7th, 8th.
8th.
We go on the 7th probably.
Okay. Right? And so what I would be doing, guys, I would be dropping off, care, thank you kits to the front desk staff, right? How many times did they see you this year and you haven't met with them yet? They keep seeing you walk by and go help somebody else out, walk by and go help somebody else. Hey, I'm here to help somebody else again. Hey, how's it going, Maria? Hey, thanks for letting me in. About to go help somebody else. Right? That's their experience of you. What would it look like if you say, forgive me. I've been coming in here for months now, and I want to make sure you were taken care of. I've been helping a lot of staff here on campus. I want to give you a gift card. Somebody been taking care of you? Have you taken advantage of the 4th B? Somebody taking good care of you? I just want to make sure you're taken care of. Because you've been letting me in here. You've been so nice. You've been so... They're going to be reluctant to set an appointment with you? No. Right?
They wanna know.
They want to know. And how many desks? Is there usually just one person in the front desk?
3 to 4.
3 or 4. Right? If you don't know, they'll have $100,000, $200,000 saved. Possibly. We don't know. You don't know exactly how much money somebody has until you sit down and meet with you. You can try to guess all day and just come up with it.
I have one of my front desk ladies, every time there's a new teacher, you need to go talk to them. Like half of the clients.
Exactly. Exactly. You go to Rowan Elementary, they'll schedule wrong lunch days for AXA people and then cancel it later on because the front desk staff is my clients, they're my gatekeepers and keep other people out. If you get a gatekeeper on your side, they'll keep other people out. Okay?
Or they'll tell you about them.
They'll tell you. I've had gatekeepers like, hey, AXA's here. I told them we were too busy. We didn't want to Right? They'll do that. So just make sure you're taking care of your gatekeepers. Make sure you're following up with all the low-hanging fruit. Guys, don't be afraid to go take advantage of these outings. Go create these 12 outings per week. Right? 12 outings per week, prospecting outings. The more people seeing you at your schools, that's the likelihood of that person say, hey, I'll think about it. They keep seeing you help everybody around them. They're like, well, shoot, I guess I got to move forward with Ben. He's helped everybody here. Right? It's that FOMO, the fear of missing out, right? Ben's got the juice, right? He's got the juice now. All right, guys, appreciate you a lot, man. Let's finish strong this week. Don't take Fridays off. Let's go. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. As you guys notice, we got this camera here. It's doing live streaming and all that good stuff. So we're gonna have our own Team Synergy channel. And
Good job.
thank you. It's gonna be ideally so that like we can record. I'll get maybe Houston to get them with a camera as well.